With me is Mrs. Alexandra Otway Noel. Good morning and
Good
welcome
morning,
to
Chrissy.
Daybreak.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing this morning?
I am good, a little tired because, of course, I'm sure you know we had our session last night up in Latante. So, but good. And good
Nice.
morning to your viewers.
Right. So just tell me, just introduce yourself. You're a shadow minister. So tell us exactly, which party you're working along with and.
Well, I am the NNP caretaker for South St. George's, and I'm also the shadow minister of tourism, civil aviation and culture in the NNP party, the new national party.
Right.
So we're gearing up. A lot of excitement out there these days. So that's my portfolio at the moment.
Right. So for not the independents, voting. Right.
That whole election thing.
You said you're for South St. George's?
Yes,
so
South St.
who is the
George's.
minister that you're going up against?
That would be Honorable Glennis Roberts.
Okay. And why exactly have you decided to take part in politics? Is it your first time?
Yes, it is. The thing is, we think that, the country, well, first of all, Dr. Mitchell, we all know is a visionary. And he sees the need to have some evolution in the NNP, bringing in some new people, some different perspectives. And the NNP has always been that kind of party. So, we were having discussions over a period of time, and they wooed me. And I'm happy to be a part of that party. I believe in the team, and they're, good people.
Right. So tell us about the rally that happened in Latante yesterday evening.
Well, that rally was to introduce the new representative for St. David's, and that's Mr. Gabriel Henry, who we're very proud of and has been working very hard up there in St. David's. And that was what the intention was in the beginning. But then, of course, with all the activity in the political arena lately, it turned into something much larger. It was more of a national rally by the crowds that we had last night. So I must say, it was very well attended.
Okay. So what are some of the speakers at the rally?
Well, we started off with Ms. Emmeline Pear, who spoke on, youth and health and all the issues affecting people, a lot of the programs that have been cut and so on. I spoke on tourism and a little bit about what's happening in my constituency. We had Tony Boson, and of course he had a lot of exciting. I'm sure you might have some clips of last night. We have Alvin Nimrod. We had Mr. Gabriel Henry as well that spoke. Of course, our beloved Dr. Mitchell spoke. Gregory Bowen spoke. So we had a number of speakers, and it was very well received. And we covered a lot of issues, and I think the people were very receptive to what we had to say. The general feeling that we got was that people are at their limit.
Right. And, there's a lot going on in the political arena now. The atmosphere is a bit tense. So were some of those issues addressed at the rally yesterday?
Yes. And of course the NNP is a very peaceful party, and we don't want to incite any kind of excitement or confusion. But having said that, there is a lot of excitement in the country because, people are kind of in limbo at the moment because nobody quite knows what's happening in the government. We hear rumors every 5 minutes about, what's happening and who's doing what and what might happen and when the next election might be called. And really and truthfully, it's not good for stability in the country. And people are frustrated and really would like to know what's going on. And so our call has been, let's get it over with. Let's call an election and move on,
Right. So you're speaking of calling an election. How ready is the party for an election?
Well, NNP is ready. We've governed this country before, and so we are all. We have a shadow cabinet that's ready to step into office when needed. Dr. Mitchell is no newcomer to this. He is very well versed in what's going on, and not only that, but we've been working very hard, behind the scenes, doing our preparing our manifesto, working with our contacts around the world, in readiness for government.
Right. And as we know, the world is in recession, and it doesn't seem like we're coming out of the recession soon. So do you believe NNP stepping into office, you know, as ready as you are, do you believe that the party can really make a difference?
You know, I come from the school of thought that says, and of course I'm in the tourism industry, and I've always said that in Grenada we cater to a tourist that it's not their first holiday. They're not looking for a $1.99 special to Cuba. The people that come to Grenada are well traveled, or are, you know, are definitely going to take a vacation. I mean, look, we just had the fishing tournament. All the people that came here were coming regardless of whether there's a recession or not. We had 50 boats, and it was a tremendous event. The sailing festival is on now. The marinas are packed to capacity. So, I mean, the people that come to Grenada, it's not cheap to come here, right? It's not cheap to stay in a hotel here. So I believe that if we do the work, regardless of what's happening with the global recession, tourism is our #1 sector. We can benefit more from it. But I think we've been, you know, a little lackadaisical when it comes to the amount of work we've been doing and the amount of effort being paid. And of course, the government has put no money into the sector, so it's a bit difficult to get out there and promote the country with no money. So I mean, with regard to the global recession, you know, in my speech last night I was talking about the fact that in Canada 750,000 people travel a month out of Canada, 7 to 8 million people a year, and that number is climbing now during a recession. So what recession? And I also mentioned that there are 385 million people that live on the continent of South America, which is right there. So I think we have a lot of areas that we can tap into that we don't. I even mentioned the fact about the Prime Minister of Trinidad having recently been to India, because India has turned into a very busy country with their information technology, and they're doing very well. And the Indian traveling population has increased by leaps and bounds. So, you know, there are a lot of markets. I mean, that's just to name a few. There are a lot of markets that we could go to and look at for new business, but we just haven't been doing that. I mean, unfortunately, we've seen ministers traveling a lot, but we haven't seen them bring back anything.
No, I know that your area, you say, is tourism, and I remember we were speaking to the Board of Tourism recently, and they're saying they're doing this new plan where they're actually tapping into some of these markets. So it seems that, you know, plans are underway.
Well, I tell you, you know, the Tourist Board did an excellent thing in that they put the entire tourism community together in a room, and they presented them with questions. It was an open forum for everybody to discuss issues and so on, and they developed a strategic plan. So I commend the Tourist Board for that effort. They worked very hard. We had a consultant who came in from Barbados. Not to say we haven't had consultants before, but anyway, this at least, okay, so it's up to date. It's something that's recently been done. So what's happening now is that we have this wonderful strategic plan, but we have no money to implement it, which is what has been happening, you know. So yes, we have an amazing document that makes perfect sense. We know what we have to do. We know what steps need to be taken, but we have no money.
Right.
And I mean, it is important that the government understands they need to inject money into these areas, because tourism could really solve a lot of our problems.
Right. So if you're in power right now, well, coming up soon, where would that money come from then? Would you then just reshuffle certain things and then get that money, or source it from somewhere else?
Well, the truth is, you know, tourism generates a lot of income for the country, and I think a certain percentage of that income needs to be taken and put back into tourism. You know, it's being taken and it's being used for so many other things. You know, it needs to be put back in. I mean, you know, we spend $5, we make 10, we put back in 2, you know, and we continue like that. And then next time we make 20, we put back in 4, and that's how we go. But if we don't put anything in it, we're not making anything. So we're just spinning top in mud, as they say.
Right. So I must ask you, to me it seems like being a politician is such a huge, a huge task. Are you scared? Are you nervous or anything?
You know something? At first, when I first entered, you know, the whole arena, I was concerned because, you know, politics has been seen as something that is, you know, it's a very tumultuous arena. But I have to say this, the support that I have received in my constituency from my team, from the NNP team, and also the people that I've met, I mean, going through my constituency and talking to people and so on, I think people realize that I'm doing this because I really do care about Grenada's future. And I mean, I'm not in it for any other reason than that. Let's just put it, stop it there. So that has boosted my confidence and encouraged me to keep going. You know, of course, we are all bracing for God knows what's going to head our way in the future with the mudslinging and propaganda and so on that you know, people come up with, and it's unfortunate that that is a fact. I mean, it would be really nice if nowadays we could take politics to the next level and not attack each other personally, which is what I've said from the beginning. I'm not interested in that, and I hope that, you know, others will be the same, you know, pay the same respect. Let's move on. You know, this mudslinging and personal attacking, that's not it's not constructive. You know, let's pay each other professional courtesy. If you don't do your job, you're going to hear from me. That's it.
Good. So where do you see, what is your ideal Grenada? You know, what do you see happening once you get in power, and, you know, if that happens, and, you know, what do you see?
Personally, I see an island that is so rich with so many things. We have beautiful, smart people that are just ready for opportunities. We have an agricultural sector that is dormant. It's a sleeping giant. We could really do so much with agriculture if we focus and we pay attention to you know, maybe developing products and so on. Tourism, of course, you know, we have on a good day 1,500 hotel rooms approximately. Those rooms should be full. We need a few hotels, a few extra hotels. You know, they're now talking about they need a flagship hotel. Well, I've been saying that for so long, and now they're repeating it. So that's wonderful that we need a flagship hotel, something that will put us on the map. We don't want mass tourism. We just want people to be able to get a decent job, pay their way, have a nice, happy life, not worrying about health care and all of these issues. We have 100,000 people, and from the beginning I've been saying that is a very manageable population. With all the resources that we have here, 100,000 people is a very manageable population, and there's no reason why we should be in the state we're in.
Okay. All right, great. So I must wish you all the best, you know, in your new exciting endeavor.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you so much for joining us on Daybreak.
Thank you very much. Nice to be here.